Hey guys, Ludicrous here with a Plague Tale Requiem achievement guide for all collectibles. This extensive guide is going to cover all 21 souvenirs, 12 of Hugo's herbariums, which includes the 5 flowers and the 7 feathers, all 10 secret chests and the knives required to open them. Just be aware that knives are one-time use, so please don't use them to kill enemies. They will be needed to open the secret chests. Knife locations vary depending on what difficulty you're playing on, so if you're playing on easy you'll see a lot more than you do on hard. I'm currently playing through on medium, so this is where those knives will be found. I'll be also including all the tool chest locations in this video. These are required to upgrade your equipment or gear. There is individual achievements for getting those maxed out as well. And finally, I'll be putting quick 10 to 15 second reminders when story related achievements are coming up. I'll then direct you to the description below where you can find an additional achievement guide. Okay, let's jump into chapter 1. There is no collectibles in this area, but there is a missable story achievement if you fail to destroy all pine cones. And I've got a full guide in the description below if you want to follow along with that. As we move into chapter 2, you'll be welcomed into a new town. Once we spoke to the herbalist, bear right and go down this little alleyway where we'll find a fairground game. Just talk to the vendor, and what we have to do here is pick up the pots and knock down as many bricks as possible. Once we've knocked them down, we'll get the first souvenir, which is called Best Player.
Alright, so how do we play this?
You get 4 shots to knock down as many cups as you can. Got it?
I'm in.
Ready?
Like the fair back home, Amicia.
Easy.
Go!
Yes. You're great. That was close. Keep going. You hit a lot.
Of course I did. What did you expect?
You're our best player today.
And you didn't even use your sling.
I think we have to get going. Thank you.
Goodbye, sir.
Further into chapter 2, you'll come across this hospital. Once inside, go up this first staircase and make sure you turn a right, not left. Left will progress the story. So take a right, go back round on yourself, and then there's a woman dying in the corner. Just speak to her and get souvenir number 2, which is called Be at Peace.
Let's go. Can we stop it, Lucas?
You mean the bite?
Yes. Let's just hurry.
Shortly after the hospital, we'll be thrown back outside into these alleyways. Lucas will spot a flower, which we need to interact with to continue the story, so you can't miss this one. And this is our first flower, which is the Arrowhead.
Hey, what are you doing here?
Whoever planted it won't see it grow.
Hugo will love it. I'll keep it there. Like before.
It suits you.
Well, thank you. Let's keep going.
On chapter 3, we'll be introduced to tools and pieces. These are used to upgrade your equipment, and our very first tool cache can be found up this staircase and through this archway.
What do we have here? A tool. I could improve my gear if I found a workbench.
Once we've opened the gate and exited the town, we'll come across this little blacksmith and a house beside it. If you move around to the right hand side of the gate, you'll be able to break the lock with your sling. Head inside and we'll find souvenir number 3, which is a grave. I've noticed as narrating my video that I've missed out a tool cache, which can be found in the blacksmith opposite. Just ensure you collect that before you continue the story. A bit further on in Act 3, we'll be in a large open area where the herbalist comes through the gate with 2 guards. Near that gate where he came in, to the left of it is this stable here. All we need to do is light it up, vault over the wall, and we'll find another tool cache.
Remember what we're here for.
I know. I do it for Hugo. Let's see what's inside.
Once we've made our way through the gate, we'll find the Herbalist's hut. If you bear left before progressing the story, you'll find a big tree. If you look up into the branches, you'll see there's pots hanging. This one here is flower number 2, Chamomile. All we need to do is get the sling, knock it down, and pick it up.
Purple star. Purple star. I know that one. Chamomile.
Oh, a nice plant. Very useful.
Yes. Mother used to give us some when we had stomachache. Back when that was one of the worst things that could happen to us.
After escaping being captured, we'll be looking to recover our gear. We'll enter this warehouse and find our gear in this left-hand side corner. With our gear, we'll also find a knife, and this will give us a brief introduction on how to open secret chests. The secret chest is just over the way here and marked with this red tapestry. Just use the knife to open it. This in turn breaks the knife, hence why we need to keep hold of the knives as long as possible in case we encounter any more secret chests.
Souvenir. I should keep an eye out. There could be more of those chests.
While in the warehouse, there is another souvenir, number 4, which is called Our Home. Just backtrack a little bit to this ladder. Look down this alleyway, use your sling to knock down the ramp, and then make your way up there to collect souvenir number 4.
Wait. All in the past.
At the very start of chapter 4, we'll exit this tunnel, where we'll meet the dock and a number of ships in the water. Just bear right along this rock face until we get to flower number 3, which is a Gentian. Ensure you pick that up before moving on.
Oh, it looks so fine. I'll take it. For Hugo.
A Gentian, I think. I'm sure he'll love it.
I'd like to offer him so much more.
He loves anything that comes from you.
A little further into chapter 4, we'll start making our way into the dock. Once we come along here, don't go down the trapdoor to our left, bear right and duck underneath this fence. Once in the room, what we want to do is grab the cart, swing it around 180 and climb up directly behind you where you'll find the silk treasure.
There's some abandoned cargo here. Not yet.
We have to stop this.
Once we go through the trapdoor that I told you to avoid earlier, this will progress the story. In this room is a little fight encounter with some guards. What we want to do is get to that knife, which you can see flashing in the middle of the room. It's kind of stuck in the fence. We want to collect that and we'll use that later for another secret chest.
Gate. What do you think is behind it?
We'll know way too soon.
Moving on from that previous area, we'll come into this rat-infested zone. What we want to do is light this cart. The story wants you to bear right with this to progress the story, but what we've got to do is head left and towards that ladder. Once you've got the cart over to the ladder, just simply climb up and there'll be a secret chest that you can open with the knife that we got in the previous room.
Staying here is dying anyway. Please have something useful.
A little further on in chapter 4 we'll be introduced to tar and how to use it. Once we've lit both these pools, we can bear right and up the ladder which Lucas comes down from. If you follow this to the very end, we'll find another tool cache which will have some useful tools and pieces for our upgrades.
Let's see what it has.
As we leave that processing area, we'll head back outside. What we want to do is stick to the right here and break a lock and drop down a ramp. If we go through this door to the left, it'll progress the story, so avoid that. What we want to do is make sure we knock this down, proceed to the harbour and interact with the water side, and that will give us souvenir number 6 called a grain of sand.
So many people must be dying right now.
Go out of here.
Very well.
Once entered the door, we'll come into this tar processing area. Here we can get a story achievement called Mercy. This involves not killing the guard at the very end of this section. If you want an achievement guide on how to do that, either click the link above or in the description below.
We're just crossing.
Once we pass that section and back outside, there'll be some large open field areas with a lot of guards, and there's one big massive bonfire in the middle. If you hold on to the left hand side here, you'll see a large gate, a stairwell here, but underneath this archway there'll be a guard patrolling. All we want to do is take him out, and then just to the left of him is a tool cache which we can then open and get another tool. Now we've moved into chapter 5 and it's morning again. What we want to do is make our way through this wooded area, keeping to the right hand side. Eventually we'll come across a red ribbon tied to the tree. This will initiate a dialogue section, and then we'll get souvenir number 7, which is called the Stag's Roar.
Oh, what the hell?
Don't panic. It's just a stag bellowing, I think.
Let's go back.
After you.
A little further on to that we'll bump into some more rats, and there's kind of a puzzle section here where we have to move cranes and levers around. Eventually you'll get to this section where Lucas is on the opposite side. What we want to do is light this hay bale and drop down. Once down, there is a tool chest underneath Lucas's position. Just make sure you open that and collect the tool, and then we can jump back up to safety. Now that we have Lucas back with us, what we want to do is look up to this hillside or cliffside, knock down this ladder. Up here we'll find both a knife and another souvenir.
I wonder what's up there.
As long as we go up, we're safe.
The knife in question can be found on top of this barrel. Once you've picked that up, just turn directly behind you and stand where Lucas is, interact and get the souvenir number 8, which is Huuuugooooo.
Let's go. It's absurd. We should be playing. All right. One way or another, that chain has to go.
Once we've crossed the waterway in chapter 5, we'll need to knock down this chain so the boat can proceed. This will briefly knock us over. Once up, bear left, go outside the building and then go right round the back. From there we can climb up a ladder into the loft space and get secret chest number 3.
Right, the chain's gone, but so are the pontoons. I'll dock at the bridge's floodgates.
Lucas, can you make it there?
I'll find a way.
All right, I'm on my way.
Be careful!
Stay safe. Yes, yes. I don't care about being safe. This is all about Hugo, Mother. I know you don't trust me, but just listen to him. What do we have here? Calm down. Focus.
From the same secret chest, all we want to do is turn around and drop back down. From here we can go back around to the front of the building and cut underneath through this little hole. When we appear on the other side, there will be another tool chest.
What do you have for us?
Again, from this tool chest location, where we're going to go now is go and collect a knife. So back underneath the house through the water. As we come out the other side, just look to these logs on the left hand side and you'll find a knife perched inside one. Just after picking up the knife, we'll come up to the bridge here. What we want to do is push this cart further around to the left. So it should lock into place under here. From where you're stood with the cart, what you want to do is just look directly up and you should be able to see a lock we can break with the sling. That'll then drop down a ramp. Make your way all the way up there to the very top and you'll find flower number 4.
Look at you stranded here. I'm sorry, I'm gonna need you. Anything that can cheer him up. Let's finish this.
We've now moved into the start of chapter 6. This one's fairly straightforward. Just follow Hugo through the field where you'll find a feather, and this will be our very first feather from a jay.
It's not funny.
Sorry, but it is. Oh, did you hurt yourself?
No. Look.
That's a beautiful feather.
So soft. So blue.
It must have fallen from that nest up in the tree, see?
Oh, yes.
We'll look for other nests. I'm sure we'll find more feathers.
Yes.
In the meantime, I'll make you a bird.
A night bird.
Oh, that reminds me. I found some pretty flowers when I was out with Lucas. Do you want them?
A little further on we'll come across an encampment. As we move through the encampment, what we want to do is stay to the left hand side. There's a chap up against the tree here which will say hello. Walk through to the back where we'll find a swing. Just interact with the swing to unlock souvenir number 9, which is Imagine You're Flying.
Look, a swing.
Oh, ours at home was always broken.
You go. I'll push you.
Really? You don't want to go yourself?
No, I'll push you. You're tired. Here we go.
I've flown enough, I think. Should we go back?
Yes.
Well, thank you. It was soothing.
Can't wait to have our...
After we've been chased out the encampment, what we want to do is head down here and through this large archway. We want to take our first right, duck under some rubble, and then what we can do is send Hugo through to open the door. Once through, there will be a tool cache which we can open for some goodies.
I was ashamed. No, stay focused. Go on, Hugo.
All right. It's open.
Well done.
Are they the soldiers from the city?
Yes,
But they were nice.
they looked nice, but they were not, believe me.
You'll eventually enter this room after locking the door behind you. In the very centre of this room is a knife stuck in some wooden pallets. All we need to do is walk up and yank it out.
Who is she? One of the wall's dogs of war. The wall doesn't use women or children.
They're here too.
How do we get out of here?
She's possessed. We'll have to burn her body.
Go to hell.
If for whatever reason you used or missed that knife in the last section, there is another one here. If we tootle off down this hill and bear right, you can see that chalk line directly in front of us. What we can do is climb up to that, and next to the minecart there will be another knife.
More than I should have.
Come along. Up. On my way.
In this same section, directly above where we collected the knife, is a tool chest. All we need to do is make our way around to there. There is multiple ways to climb up. I've just taken the long way around. And then you'll find a tool chest at the very top.
What do we have here?
With me now!
We're here. But I'm sorry. I'm not good, Hugo.
You'll rest inside.
Once at the back of that area, you'll find this building which we need to enter. We'll lock the door behind us. Once inside, we want to bear right and duck underneath and into the back room. In the back there is a secret chest, and that is chest number 4.
So much. I'm not sure I'll make it.
No. We'll go away. I'll protect you. We'll go to the island together.
Yes, we have to get out of here. What do you have for us? I'm doing all I can. You know.
We're going to be all right. We'll be at the sea soon.
Yes, soon.
As we proceed a little further through this building, we'll enter this area with a load of rats. What we want to do is just pick up this torch and make our way through to the back.
In my head.
Once we reach the back room, do not go through the door, instead go up the ladder. This will take you up and over and drop you behind in the back, where we'll find souvenir number 10, which is which colour do you want.
They must not take control of you. The macula wants to take you over, feed on your emotions. You have to be very careful.
I will.
I'm getting cold. I have to move faster.
Yes. It'll keep you warm. Oh, fabric. All new. Your bandage is dirty. We could change it. I think we could use those. They're clean.
All right.
It will make you feel better.
Thank you.
I hope it helps.
Once back outside again in this large open area with a load of guards. Once we get to the very top of the hill, you'll find this little wooden shed. What we can do is then crouch under this cart and go around to the back. Through the window at the back, we can then break the lock and make our way inside. You'll find a load of rats on the floor inside. We can use Huuuugooo's ability to control the rats and then move them outside, and then we have access to a tool chest inside.
Whoa, step back. There's a lot in there. They could be useful.
Wait. Something just get away.
Don't get carried away. You have to keep control of them. It was.
Hey, did you see my charge?
Yes. They won't come back soon.
As we've moved on to chapter 7, Felons, we'll run down this beach and meet up with Huuuugooooo again. Enter this shed and you'll find a knife on the floor.
Someone lives here.
I don't think so.
I would live here, right in front of the sea.
From this same location, we can jump out the back window and find feather number 2 from a black-headed gull, just under this cliff face here.
It has to be a seabird.
A seagull?
Probably. And now it's yours. Here.
I love seagulls.
Come on. Even the boys.
Not far from that last collectible, we'll enter this rat-infested cave where we'll have to light the cart. Pushing it part way down this tunnel, you'll see an opening on the left-hand side, which we can then take to open a tool chest.
Makes my skin crawl.
They make it from things they catch.
Like people.
Bloody hell. You said you lived in Requiem. It all started there. You
I didn't do it on purpose.
started this?
He can't do anything about it, all right? We're stuck with those things just like everybody else.
Once we're back outside and on the beach, you'll see this wrecked ship on your left hand side and a workbench. What we want to do is get to the top side of this ship. To do this, just head a little bit further down the beach, swing back around on yourself and climb up the rock face. There we'll find souvenir number 11, which is the survivor.
Side of that boat.
Her?
Yes. Sophia, the sea scorpion. She's the leader.
She sounds scary.
Less scary than those damn biters.
We'll see when we meet her. Come on, one last effort. This boat's going nowhere now. Yes.
Well, nothing's totally dead till it's completely buried.
Let it rest then. It's earned it. Come.
Straight after souvenir number 11, we'll be thrown into this cave, which is full of rats and guards. As we make it to the very back of the cave, we'll be forced to jump down. If you head straight ahead at this point and go through the door, this will progress the story and you'll miss this secret chest, so just be careful. Once we drop down, we don't want to proceed straight ahead. We want to turn right and head into this broken ship. Inside this broken ship, we'll find secret chest number 5, as long as you have a knife to open it.
This place is a boat cemetery.
Currents are pretty tricky around here.
Let's see what's inside.
After a long story cutscene, we'll be thrown back outside in the rain. What we want to do is drop down and make our way towards the beach. Part way down the beach, we'll see a guard with a shield stood next to this wrecked boat. Before reaching him, there is a knife stuck in this plank of wood. All we need to do is take that if we have the space to do so. Moving further up the coastline, we'll come across this little island here. If you interact with the rope, what you'll do is pull in a boat, and on said boat is a tool chest. Just open that to collect your next tool.
Beasts. Should have known it was nothing again.
This place is getting worse than Guyenne.
Moving on from that last section, we'll have to move this board out the way with a little bit of help. Once through, what we want to do is take our first left and turn back around and climb up. Once up, we'll be able to enter a cave, picking up a torch and continuing right down to the end where we find souvenir number 12, the first men.
Look. What is it? Just remember it. Come.
Yes.
Near the end of chapter 7, you'll come across this heavily guarded fishing village. At the very end of the village is this heavily armoured dude, which you'll need to take his armour off to kill him. Once dead, what we can do is then interact with this post. It's going to pull a rope and drop a tool chest onto the beach. We just need to make our way back down to the tool chest and get rid of the rats in the best way possible. I used Hugo's ability just to move them further up the beach.
Please have something useful.
After landing in Lacuna on chapter 8, what we want to do is make our way into this very first market square.
And perfumes.
Take our first left and head up to the big tree. At the base of the tree we'll find feather number 3, which is the black kite.
Yes. I'll ask.
Fresh fruits, straight from our mother's garden.
All right. Let's try and ask someone here.
Good work with the decorations, everyone. Oh, and if you still want to help, we need a hand with tonight's feast.
Here, some feathers. This one's dark.
A bird of prey, I'd say. Small one. Fast predators, smart as hell.
That'll suit you. Here.
Looking good, Shorty.
Smart as hell.
What a predator you make.
From the same position at the base of this tree we can go and get souvenir number 13. What we want to do is head back to the marketplace and head straight across. This will send us into a little back alley with a goat pen and a goat. Just interact with the goat to get number 13.
The dancers and musicians are now in place. The festivities are about to begin. Come.
Can't wait to see that. Let's go.
Oh, Amicia, can we go too?
Sure. Sounds nice.
Roasted pork's ready.
What's over there?
Goats.
You want to say hello?
Is she nice?
Of course she is.
Well, it's not nice.
You were scared, that's all. Let's go. Thank you, sir.
Anytime.
Goodbye.
From this goat pen, we're just going to turn around back into the marketplace and then bear right. Just head part way down this alleyway until you can turn left. Turn left and drop down into another courtyard.
Did you know goats don't have front teeth?
Just like some of my men.
Should we be worried about the Count's army here? They look pretty quiet.
Different captain, different men, different land. Don't think so.
Good.
I hope there will be a dragon man.
I'd like to see a dragon man too.
Once we've dropped into this courtyard, there's another fairground game in the back. All we need to do here is throw 4 pots into the middle of 4 wreaths.
Let's have a look.
All you need to do is use the throw indication to make sure it goes through the hole and hits the banners at the back. Once you've scored off all 4, you should get the perfect throw achievement as well as souvenir number 14, which is the flower crown.
The same crown. Understand?
Fine. Let's see how I do.
You'll win.
I'll judge you harshly if you don't.
Please, I'm trying to focus.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm so proud of you.
Oh no.
Good start.
Yes. Keep going.
Slaughter them crowns.
Bullseye.
Impressive indeed.
Astonishing work. May this be the sign of a blessing.
Thank you.
You're so good.
Those crowns didn't stand a chance.
Let's go see the rest.
Oh, he killed the Count.
We'll improvise, remember.
We could
After a few story cutscenes, we'll eventually end up in this part of town. What we need to do is retrieve this cart from behind this gate. This is done by just sending Hugo under the wall. Then what we need to do is push the cart up against the barn, climb onto the top, and if we bear right while up there, we'll find a tool chest.
Hugo?
Here.
Let's get that cart in place. By the way, why did Arno attack the Count?
He said that it's because of the Count that his shield is broken.
Climb up. Up we go. Good. Now, careful. Let's see what's inside. Is it?
Now that we've moved on to chapter 9, what we have to do is follow the direction of these phoenix statues. While we're out here in this open area, what we can do is wander off and get souvenir number 15, which can be found just at the end of this path.
So a dream and a bird. Hugo's been dreaming about this place lots since before we came here.
And eat there. It was looking at another bird.
You're right.
So what's this one looking at?
Only one way to find out. Everything's so different from Guyenne. Even the smells.
Yes. It smells hot.
It's never hot in Guyenne.
Not in the same way.
I trust you.
We then just need to interact with this tree to get souvenir 15, which is 1,000 more years.
This beauty. Let's go.
Yes.
Once we've interacted with the tree, just head back out and we want to head up to these 4 windmills at the top of the hill. There's actually a hidden puzzle with these windmills that will open a cave. In said cave we'll find a couple of tool chests. So what we have to do for this puzzle, once we head up here we'll see 2 windmills. These will be what we call windmills 1 and 2. These need to be in an off state, they're currently on. So we have to make our way inside, turn them off.
Can we go and look inside?
And then once both windmills 1 and 2 are switched off, we can move over to windmills 3 and 4 and ensure they're switched on. Once windmills 1 and 2 are switched off and 3 and 4 are switched on, you'll get a dialogue prompt to say something's happened. Now we can head back outside and find the cave. For guidance on the directions of that, just continue watching the video and you'll soon find out where it lives.
Yes. Oh, it worked!
Shh. Let's get away discreetly. Careful with the drop here.
All right.
Maybe it will start the windmill. You heard that?
Something moved.
Yes. It didn't seem close, though.
Strange.
Oh!
I've seen things like this. It's typical in Provence and its surroundings.
What is it?
Some symbolic passageway?
The question. Intriguing.
A magic hole!
I say this letter is an invitation.
That's old.
Feels like the place was used not so long ago.
It looks like a goblin's home.
You're the only goblin here.
Then you're a witch.
How did you know?
Look, it's a rock door and drawings of windmills. Where are we going?
Don't worry. This is real exploration, Hugo.
Yes, I'm sure there's treasure down there.
You know what, kid? I think you're right. My hands are getting all tingly. It's a sign. Holy.
Damn.
Is it real?
It's real. As real as a smuggler's lair. A bloody good one. Hell, who built this?
It's amazing. You think, whoa,
The treasure!
it fits.
Ooh,
It's too good to leave it here. Keep it.
yes! It's your treasure now.
I don't know why, but I feel stronger.
It's magic, maybe.
All right, let's go back before some smuggler ghost comes shouting at us. Let's see what...
This place is amazing. It's my favorite.
I must say, I could see myself living here.
From the windmills, we can then head down towards the coastline where the kites are flying. You'll find a barn down here where there'll be a tool chest inside.
actually has some power.
What we need to do to get inside is climb up onto the very top of the roof. From there, we can drop a crate onto the floor, drop down one level, use the window, and we can open the front door. If that sounds a little confusing, just ensure you watch the video and you'll see what I mean.
Climb up.
What are those things in the sky?
Kites. You've never seen one?
No.
Well, they're like tiny boat sails. They take the wind and off they go.
Can you fly if you catch one?
No, not even you.
I want one.
Hey, you're good. I should hire you.
I wasn't like this before.
It's fine. I wasn't born a smuggler either. You do what you must.
Oh, there's still a lot to
What's
do.
that?
Oh, yes. People who can't have children come here to be blessed.
That's sweet.
I heard the Countess is the one who created all this.
She's so nice.
The Count and her, they seem so much in love. It's
Embarrassing.
unexpected, I'd say. What do you have for us?
From the barn, if we head towards the mountains, we'll cross over this little bridge where there's a fisherman. And then you'll notice this tower on the left hand side. What we can do is look through the window and use the sling to break the lock on the door to get inside. Once inside, we'll find a knife on the ground floor level. But there's also a secret chest in here on the second floor. So if you're already carrying a knife, I suggest not picking this one up or recycling this knife. What we can then do is go up to the second floor, unlock the secret chest, and then come back downstairs and collect the knife. So we always ensure that we have a knife on us.
There's something inside. Let's go back.
Yes! Let's take the tower!
Oh, so you came to conquer?
Only towers. The rest doesn't interest him.
Towers are the best, because
Pretty
you can
empty.
climb them.
This is the location of the knife stuck in this barrel. As I said, I'm just going to leave this knife as I already had one on me.
Think is up there.
So I'm going to make my way up to the second floor where we'll find a secret chest.
You think it's Mummy?
Also on the very top of this tower there is a souvenir which is called Screeching. So once we've opened this secret chest, we'll then continue on to the very top of the roof and get that souvenir. As we make our way out of the tower, we can then collect that knife from the ground floor.
We're almost at the top.
Well, let's go then.
Oh, you can see everywhere.
It was worth it. Come closer. Look, now you can feel like your birds when
Nice
it perches
view.
high up.
Not need one to be heard over the sound of the sea.
Your crew must love it.
Oh, they've never complained.
Once you've progressed the story enough to send you up into the mountains, you'll come across this locked gate with a load of goats. The guy here says one of his goats is missing. So if you go a little bit further up the path, we'll find a goat that is stuck in a building. The only way to get into the building is firstly burn the grass on the outside. That will then reveal a hole which we can send Hugo through and he will open the front door. Then once inside there is a tool chest and we'll be able to interact with the goat and get souvenir number 17.
Is that the goat you talked about?
Tramontane, yes.
Inside this house, maybe.
Wow, this is turning into an actual rescue mission.
I really hope she's nice.
I'm sure she'll be thankful. In her own way.
If she's not, we'll lock her up again, won't we?
Don't worry. You have two strong women to protect you.
There's a hole in the wall.
Hey, only you can do it.
All right.
My hero! He's so funny.
Not all the time, but mostly.
Quick!
Yes.
Quick!
You did it!
That was knightly. So, here's our fugitive.
You saved her, Hugo. Want to say a proper hello?
Yes. Go! Your dad's waiting for you. She's not moving.
She will. She's her own master.
What do we have here? There wasn't any goat in your dream.
No. But maybe there will be now.
Who wouldn't want to dream of goats?
From the goat, we're then going to move on to secret chest number 7. What we need to do is just climb up here. This is the way to progress the story anyway. So head up here, and then what we want to do is bear left, and you should see a secret chest on top of this ridge line.
Yes.
Just open that with the knife that we've got in the tower, and we should be good. If for whatever reason you don't have knives to open these chests, what you can do is once you finish the chapter, reload the chapter with chapter select, and then go and get the knife and then open the chest.
Was to be expected.
Oh, all those flowers.
That must be for their ceremony.
After you've snuck into this temple area, all we need to do is sneak through to this large building on the left hand side. Up the staircase there is a tool chest at the top. Just sneak through and open that for a tool.
Up here. Come along. Up. On my way.
Progressing towards the next story objective, you'll get to this locked gate. What we need to then do is make our way through this door and enter this tower. At the very top of the tower we will find Feather 4, which is from a barn owl. Just ensure you climb all the way to the top and pick that up before proceeding.
We're doing it, my friends. We're getting there.
Yes. How do you feel, Hugo?
I feel funny, but good. I'm sure there's something inside the mountain.
I feel it too.
Well, I'm trusting you both.
Everyone, it is almost time.
Gather round, please.
It's the Count and the Countess.
It seems we're right on. Hugo, look at this.
Is it from the bird?
It's up to you.
I say it is.
Then it would be honored that you wear it. Keep it for when we see it.
Yes. I'll give it back then.
Near the end of chapter 9 there's a missable story achievement. Once a long cutscene's played out, Sophia will lead you into a series of rooms. You need to interact with all objects in here to get the achievement. If you need a guide on this, there's one in the description or on the link above.
Things waiting.
Now we've moved on to chapter 10, which is called Bloodline. On top of this building here in the centre, we need to get up there and open the front gate. Next to the column that pulls the gate open, there is a tool chest. All we need to do is scramble up onto the top and open that.
Traitors.
You know these people
Up. I will do my best. There's another rope here.
well spotted. That's a way in.
Waste of time.
Once we've opened the gate, we'll make our way through here where there's a little bit of a puzzle to progress. What we want to do is open the front door, jog through, and then stick as far left as we can. Eventually we'll be able to drop down towards the river and find feather number 5, which is from a raven.
Let's try through here.
It was such a nice place.
It still can be.
I don't know.
See that, Hugo? A feather.
Leave it.
Why? It's beautiful. From a raven.
But it's a dark bird.
A cunning bird. It managed to make people believe it's evil.
So that people leave it alone.
Oh,
They're not darker than people.
You should see me when I wake up. I'm the evilest.
Come here. I think we owe Sophia an apology.
A little further on we'll have a dialogue section between Hugo and Sophia. Once that's played out, we can then enter this brick building. From in there, on the left hand side, we can interact with a post and pull down a ramp. Once that's pulled down, all we need to do is climb up and interact with the tree up there, and we'll get Souvenir 18, which is a ragdoll.
I think I found something. Come on.
All right.
Lord, they use this tree to chain up slaves.
Further on with some more slavers here. While creeping through these buildings, you'll eventually come to this kind of crossroad here. The building directly ahead of us, you can see, has a tool cache on the top. But as we enter from downstairs, there is a butchery table on the right hand side where we'll also find a knife. From this same location, just head up the staircase, and on the balcony above you'll also find a tool cache. Once inside the castle, we'll eventually come across a section with rats, where Sophia will then use her prism to guide us through safely. All we want to do is light this brazier in the corner here, and then direct Sophia's light towards it. As you can see from where we stood here, there's a secret chest up there. Just head through this ground floor doorway, up the stairwell, and then we can open secret chest number 8.
So, the chapel's on the other side of that trench, right?
Right. And we need a way to cross.
Wait, don't go too far. It's getting too dark for my prism.
Let's see what it has.
A little further on into the castle, you'll come to this area here, where you can either proceed up the stairs or cut through the centre by the rats. What we want to do here is go into this building on the left. You'll find a guard leaning up to the central column. All I did here was take him out with the crossbow. And directly in front of him is a doorway. Through that doorway is a tool chest. There's also rats as well. So you can either use Hugo's ability to move them on, or use the lure just to give you some temporary time to run out there and open the chest and get back to safety. Once we've been in the chapel and had a lengthy cutscene, we'll be thrown out into this arena situation where waves and waves of enemies appear. While facing this direction, on the right hand side there is a knife which we can then pick up and utilise later in a secret chest. We've now moved on to chapter 11. There'll be a situation with a locked door where Sophia puts down some Greek fire. Once we've blown that up, just head through. In the very corner of the room you'll be able to see another barrel of Greek fire just through the wall. What we're going to do is blow that one up, and then in the corner of that room we'll find Feather 6, which is from a European Goldfinch.
Unbelievable. Look,
There are birds here?
Yes, cave birds.
which means we're not alone here.
And he's not alone either.
Exactly. Let's keep going. and maybe we'll see it. If it hasn't been too scared.
Yes.
Moving on through the corridors, you'll come into this corridor here,
The Order's guard, probably.
where you'll have like a T-junction. You're meant to go left, but if you bear right, you will see a skeleton here that also has a knife stuck in its head. We can claim that and then use that later for another chest. Eventually, you'll come to this dark rat-infested room where we have to light and move braziers around on various tracks. What we want to do firstly is concentrate on this one on the right hand side. We can use Sophia's reflect ability to make us a safe path across, then slide this as far as it goes, and then you'll eventually be able to drop down. Once you drop down, you can then interact with the papers on the desk and get Souvenir 19, the Chateau.
We're safe, as long as we have these fires.
Yes.
All that Greek fire makes sense now.
The bridge is just beyond.
But that wreck is in the way. Can we get rid of it?
I don't know. I'd need another angle. Let's go back and check. Open the way for us, Sophia!
Everyone stay in the light! Wait, don't go too far. It's getting too dark for my prism.
It's a map of this place. You can see the tracks and braziers.
Not a map, a plan. You can see the mechanisms.
There are others. There. It looks like the Chateau d'Ombrage, Amicia.
You're right. It's the courtyard with all the braziers. And what are those?
More plans. These ones have names. Denmark, Constantinople? This looks like Africa? Asia?
I had no idea the Order had spread so far.
Because it can happen everywhere.
What?
A plague. Let's go.
Before opening the large gate, we want to go and get Souvenir 20. This is over here on the left hand side. You can send Hugo through the hole in the wall where he'll open the door. Souvenir 20 is just on the other side, called His Toys.
Look. Children's clothes. Toys.
Basilius. They're his.
This doesn't look like a playroom, though.
They took them away from him.
It means he's close. Somewhere beyond that door.
One hell of a door for a child.
Not just any child. We'll see. Let's go back to that door.
Once you've fallen down and been separated from Hugo and Sophia, you'll have to make your way through these tunnels by breaking these chains.
Here we go.
One of these chains you can see on the other side has a secret chest. Sweep out and then take a left and sweep back inside, and you'll be able to use secret chest number 9 as long as you have a knife.
Make it an easy way. He's holding on by a thread. Oh, Lord, I hope I'm not wrong.
Not far from the secret chest, Hugo and Sophia will help you blow up this rubble to progress. Once you return to the cart and start pushing it along, so far along you'll have a turn to the left where you can then go and collect a tool chest.
Back to it. Now focus. Find Basilius. Grab whatever you can find and get out. Then he'll live.
You did it!
I'm a big girl.
I know. I wasn't scared.
I can attest to that.
Chapter 12 doesn't have any collectibles, so we're moving straight on to chapter 13, which is called Nothing Left. As you start the chapter, just birth right off the beaten path here, go through to this back room and you'll find a tool chest.
Look, up there, an opening. It's our way out.
To progress the story, we need to climb out with a cart, but first of all we're going to get Souvenir 21, a mess, which can be found in the back. What we need to do is slingshot this door open, head through and then move the cart back as far as it'll go. This will allow us to open the other door, head through and interact with Souvenir 21. 21 is also the very last souvenir to get, so once collected you should get the 100G achievement for Immortal Memory.
You have to hold on.
Let me see your eyes. Pupils not dilated.
What a mess.
Back outside on chapter 13, just after Hugo's moved the rats on, we'll still have to deal with guards in this area. Do your best to sneak past them, but we want to try and get to the very centre of this area where we'll find a rat sack next to a tool chest. What we're going to have to do is burst the rat sack and then use Hugo's ability to move them on, which then we can safely collect the tool chest.
Sorry, Hugo. We need them to reach the harbor. Anyway, they're after us. Watch out.
A little further on in chapter 13 you'll enter this ruined town. What we want to do is just hug the left hand side, ensure you take out the guards and you have enough light to get past the rats. At the end of this section you'll then meet a table full of wreaths. On said table there is also a knife which we can pick up and use for our last secret chest.
We have company. Let me know if you see anything. Yes.
Heading on from the same table that we got the knife from, we're now going to make our way to a ruined chapel which has a tool chest in it.
Any news from the palace?
Nothing yet. Count must be burying his spouse.
It must be terrible.
You see what they do to the people they catch.
Yes. We have our dead too. Most of them won't get a proper grave. Talk about brighter days. This place looks like proper hell.
The child will fix this.
The child did this.
He did it because of her.
Up we go.
Yes.
Once we get here in the story progression, we want to drop down and turn around 180, so we go back under ourselves. Here we'll find another knife which we can use for the secret chest. From the same location that we've got the knife, we're going to get feather number 7. Just proceed through here and we'll need to grab this cart to get up to a higher level. Once up there, the Greylag goose feather should be directly in front of you. This is also our last feather we need, which will give us the 30G achievement for finding all feathers.
We have to save him.
Even if he doesn't deserve it. I see. You've put together quite the troop.
A feather. Hugo, no. I don't know what it is, but would you like to have it?
Why?
Because you like them. Here, take it.
Yes.
It will be alright.
Continuing on from the same position that you got the feather, there is a door here on the right hand side we can open. Once inside, it's a very small room, but there is also a secret chest here. This is number 10, our last chest. Once opened, we should get the Explorer achievement for opening all secret chests. Chapters 14 and 15 don't have any collectibles, so we're going to move straight on to chapter 16, King Hugo. At the very start of this chapter, you will find an abandoned house here. Once inside, on the right hand side, you will find a tool chest.
Someone's dream came true.
Let's see what's inside.
Moving on from the same chest, we're going to get our very last collectible, which is flower number 5, a Carnation. Just up this ramp, Lucas will bend over to look at it. All we need to do is press Y to interact with it, and voila, the 30G achievement for Herbalist. You've now collected all collectibles within A Plague's Tale Requiem. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.